So I need some help here. I need some help. So I just need some people just to help me out because I'm confused. I'm honestly 100% confused. Yes, I've shaved. Yes, I've shaved. So Fikayo, Mr. Fikayo, that's his name. He's Nigerian. Yes. Um, he gets told by the manager that you need to train harder. That's because you're not in the team. And I remember that first season. Tomorrow, the guy was actually pretty good. He had like maybe one not so good game, but I was like, no, this guy's a damn good defender. Like, because you can just tell. And I will get to Paolo Maldini. But when I just saw him, I was like, oh wow, like composure, positioning, discipline, good on the ball, calm, plays uprights, boom. The complete opposites of Rudiger and Christensen, who are a calamity. When you just watch Rudiger and Christensen, you're like, okay, mistake happening in T minus, yep. So when Tomori wasn't in the team, it's like, but why? It's like, why? And where did Christensen come from? Like a guy that hardly made any mistakes, that was actually pretty good, to a guy where Christensen, I think almost every game I've seen him in, he's made somewhat of a mistake. Whether it's going down fouled, whether it's not knowing where the man is, whether it's getting right, he's somehow always found a way to make mistakes. It's like, how is so if you're tomorrow like the guy you're playing is making mistakes, is let's say in goals, why don't you pull me in? Then the manager says you need to train harder. Then we come to Maldini. Guys, I'm a bit older than you guys, so I'm gonna pull age rank. Okay, well, I'm gonna pull some age rank here. I have watched Maldini for most of his career, and I think it was known in the football fraternity that this is one of the best defenders of all time. When you just look at the outer defending, this isn't about Ramos. It's not about scoring goals or going clutch goals. This is just the outer defending of tackling, winning the ball without fouling, positioning, reading the game, and making it almost difficult to get past. It is widely considered that Maldini is one of the finest defenders of all time. So, if you want to go to a guy and ask a guy about how do I defend, what makes a great defender? If you want to go to a guy to say, who are the top defenders? You'd go to Maldini. As a guy who, his name means defending. We just think of defending, you say Maldini. His name is synonymous with defending. So, the fact that Maldini, who's obviously now in an advisory role for AC Milan, similar to what Van der Sar is doing for Ajax, as like a boy, as a guy like who has been in the club since they were flipping infants, he picked out Tomori. So can you connect the dots here? This dude has been frozen out of Chelsea and he's told to train harder. A guy who is considered one of the greatest defenders of all time says, Milan, get this kid. I see talent in this kid. Get it. Because I believe this kid could be something. Because I think Maldini, obviously, you look at scouts and everything, and Maldini you're just looking at tape, looking at tape. And Maldini was like, I'm sure he may have been on the radar. I'm sure Maldini may have seen him last season and said, oh, geez, this guy looks pretty damn good. How old is he? Wow, maybe even reminds me of myself. Okay, but Maldini was like, look, he's obviously going to be Chelsea's defender, so there's no point in even going for him. Then he would have been alerted that he's not in the team. He's been frozen out. Yo, Pioli, I think is it Gazidis or whatever. Yo, guys, get this kid right now. Because these freaking morons, and that's moron of a manager, doesn't think they're that good. Get it. Yo, set up a Zoom call. Oh yeah. Go. Zoom call. Say, oh yeah, Shegu. Make it come. Zoom. So just boom, Zoom call. Yo, you're amazing. We want you. We appreciate you. This is AC Milan. And if you're tomorrow, think about it. Because everybody wants to feel loved. Everybody wants to feel appreciated, especially if you're a player. So if you're Tomori, Your manager says train harder. You train harder, and you hear nothing from the manager. And Paolo Maldini is saying personally to you that we want you. We want you at Milan. If you're tomorrow, you're like, you've just gone from zero, feeling low and unwanted to, oh, Maldini appreciates me? Maldini thinks, this is freaking Maldini. This is a guy who's one of the greatest defenders of all time, actually values my quality as a defender. So for tomorrow, it's like, bet, let's ride. And looking at what Milan are looking at, because Milan are now, they're looking at they may slowly be turning a corner. You know, they just get a few more pieces here and there, boom, and you already seen that. Look, Simon Kerr, bro, that guy's from the road. I think the partnership that they now want to cultivate is Romagnoli, and tomorrow is not going to be seen. No, you are going to now form the basis of the next the defense. Because remember, Milan are about long term. Milan are like, boom, once you're here, we want you to be here for life. And if Maldini has earmarked his, Maldini has no, we want you here. So come back to Chelsea. What a sad situation. And here's the thing, because before I did this video, I said, let me just look at social media, looking at everything. Because I think let's be fair. Let's hear from Homeboy. Let's hear from Frank Homeboy and see what Frank Homeboy has to, because I've heard a thing. Okay, so let me play devil's advocate. Let me copy a plea. My plea, the only plea that I can copy for Frank Homeboy is, okay, Marina and the higher-ups have said that, no, we want Christensen here. We want these guys here. So therefore, I'm sorry, they have no play for Tomori. We want this guy to play. That is the only play I can copy. But even if you copy that play, as a manager, you say to Tomori that, hey, Kyle, look, man, I want to play you, but it's not really my decision. It's not really my call. You know, it is what it is. I try and play this guy, but it's not really my call. That's when you appreciate someone. Because if you appreciate someone, you can keep it a buck. You can keep it a stack and say, you know what? I know how good you are. I know how good you are. But, you know, it's politics, bro. It's just politics. But train harder. Train harder means that I obviously don't think that you're good enough. Train harder is different from, hey, I've got a difficult decision. I know how good you are and everything, but it's tactical. You know, I just think that Christensen brings more than this thing. I know you're good, but I just think that, you know, for this game and for what I'm trying to do, I think Christensen and Zuma bring in more. That makes more sense than train harder. Yo, work harder. You're not working hard enough. I think I value Maldini's assessment than Frank Homeboy, personally. I think I value one of the greatest defenders of all time than, okay, you were like one of the best players that Chelsea had. You know, you were never world class. I think Maldini is a much higher level than Frank Homeboy. So here's the thing: am I right? Like, is this because that doesn't make sense? That if this is a board decision and it was not Frank's decision, where does train harder come from? Because unless Tomori is lying. Unless Tomori is lying, which I doubt he will, he said, I went to the manager and the manager said to train harder. And then I trained harder and then I didn't hear anything more. So my thing is that what could the other side of the story be? Because the only other side is, if it's from the top down and the board told you that, nah, man, we don't want Tomori, we want you to play Christensen and Rudiger, then don't tell him to train harder. Say, bro, sorry, it's out of my hands, man. It's complicated, you know. It is what it is. I still value you, but I will try and get you in, but you know what? This is just a difficult decision I have to make. So that seems a lot better because it still feels like, oh, you still appreciate me. But you don't appreciate me because by you saying train harder means you don't appreciate me. Maldini, the great defender of all time, appreciates me. And my thing is this. If 4 or 5 years down the line, Milan come back, they get rejuvenated, and Tomori is at the heart of an AC Milan defensive lineup, someone's got to be playing for it. Because again, you look at Salah, De Bruyne, someone had to fall for that. Look at what Salah is right now. Look at what De Bruyne is right now. Look at what Lukaku is right now. Chelsea need a striker. Look at what Lukaku is doing right now. If people put the blame on Mourinho, probably rightfully so. Of letting Salah, De Bruyne, and Lukaku go. So if Tomori now becomes a top player, do we blame Frank Homeboy or do we blame Marina? Sad. Like that vid, subscribe, check out the links in the description box. Word up. Q&A tonight, Friday. Send in your questions via that website. One love.